losses by decision to Jose Luis Ramirez and Oscar De La Hoya, hotly disputed by Whitaker's camp. The draw against Julio Cesar Chavez was clearly no draw. He certainly deserved to win that night. Again, Pernell loves to say, I've never lost a prize fight. And the opponent is a man who never has lost a professional prize fight, officially or unofficially. Puerto Rican contingent in the crowd here at Madison Square Garden should provide what amounts to a home court advantage for Felix Trinidad.
Earlier tonight, junior welterweight champion Vince Phillips lost his title to a relatively unknown fighter
named Teron Millette from St. Louis.
And you can attribute that loss to the fact that he had to take off massive amounts of weight to make 140 pounds. 47 pounds he took off in 7 weeks. Trinidad has also had serious weight problems. He should really be a junior middleweight, but he is 10 years younger than Phillips, and when you're young and strong, you can get away with these things.
Felix Trinidad has a record that underlines his reputation as an explosive puncher. 33 wins, 29 of them by KO, 12 knockouts in his 13 title fights. Only Hector Camacho went the distance with him in a title fight. Camacho, of course, did the same thing with Oscar De La Hoya. And now let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the most famous sports address in the Big Apple, New York City, Madison Square Garden, Don King Productions, along with your undisputed, undefeated King of Beers, Budweiser. This bud's for you. In association with Main Events Monitor, Madison Square Garden and HBO present 12 rounds of boxing for the International Boxing Federation Welterweight Championship of the World. Sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission Chairman Mel Southard, First Executive Director Tony Russo, Executive Director Jim Paulzanello, Director of Boxing Bob Duffy, Chief Physician at ringside Dr. Billy Lathan. Ringside physicians are Dr. Stephen Gelfman, Dr. Richard Estrico, and Dr. Robin Scarlata. The timekeeper at the bell is Jim Borzell. IBF President at ringside, Robert W. Lee. IBF Supervisor at ringside, Bobby Lee Jr. In the ring as special guest, the Mayor of Bayamon, Puerto Rico, Ramon Luis Rivera, and Secretary of Sports of Puerto Rico, Eric Labrador. The 3 judges scoring this contest on a 10-point must system will be Biba Exton, Melvina Lathan, and Samuel Conde Lopez. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Benji Esteves. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Mecca of boxing, Madison Square Garden, New York City. Let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue trimmed with white. He weighs 147 pounds. In 1984, he captured Olympic gold, and now as a professional in 43 bouts, he has 40 victories, 17 by knockout, with 2 losses and 1 draw. There are many experts who believe, actually, that he has never lost a fight in the ring. And over most of the past decade, he has been considered pound for pound the best there is. Tonight, he plans to show the world he still is. From Norfolk, Virginia, ladies and gentlemen, here is the challenger and former 6-time world champion, Pernell Whitaker. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white, trimmed with red. He also weighs 147 pounds. His professional record stands at a perfect 33 bouts, 33 victories, 29 victories by knockout. Tonight, he steps into this ring in the pursuit of greatness, ready to show the world that he, and he alone, is the one to be called pound for pound the very best. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros de Coupé Alto, Puerto Rico, presenting the reigning and defending undefeated IBF welterweight champion of the world, Felix Trinidad.
Por favor. Tito, obedezca mis reglas. Pernell, obey my commands at all times. They van a pelea limpia. Give me a clean match. I want to wish you luck. Buena suerte a los dos. Touch up, good luck.
Okay. Trinidad trying to make his case for a climactic showdown with Oscar De La Hoya. Trying to do a better job against Whitaker than De La Hoya did. Trying to look good against a fighter nobody has ever looked good against.
And you may have noticed that in a perhaps stilted attempt to balance out the scoring scales here, they appointed one judge from Whitaker's home state of Virginia and another from Trinidad's home province of Puerto Rico. The suggestion is that scoring for the bout lies in the hands of the neutral judge, Melvina Lathan from the state of New York. Felix Trinidad has a long history of getting knocked down in the early rounds. As near as we can figure, he's been down at least a half dozen times, maybe 7, always in the first 3 rounds of the bout. Always he has gotten up to avenge the knockdowns by knocking out the perpetrator.
And Pernell Whitaker is right on top of him, trying to get inside his reach, it appears.
And you saw the super quick delivery of the left hook, which is one of the Trinidad trademarks.
Trinidad is going to need to keep his jab a bit more active, not allow Pernell Whitaker to get too close. But once he gets close to you, he make himself acquainted with you, and you won't be able to hit him with anything. And Whitaker's job is to make sure he stay close so this guy can hit you on the end of those punches.
De La Hoya fought Pernell Whitaker April of 1997. He had a hard time making his jab a factor in the fight. Ultimately scratched out a victory with right hand leads and enough power punches to win the approval of the judges.
But Trinidad, he has to be careful now. For the first time, he's in with a skillful left-hander. Every time you step forward with your jab, he's going to bump it with your foot too. And Trinidad all night will have his feet on top, left foot on top of Whitaker's right foot.
Pernell's right foot. That's always what you watch, George. When a conventional fighter fights a southpaw, the two lead feet.
But some fighters don't need to slide forward as Trinidad does. He slides forward, and if he can't find that sliding, he's out of range.
Hard right hand inside by Trinidad as they push for position. Whitaker trying to land a left over the top. Whitaker's new head trainer, Tommy Brooks, emphasized in camp, you must make him miss, you must make him pay. You made De La Hoya miss, you didn't make him pay enough. Make Trinidad pay more.
That's right. You want to get there and take any amount of courage from the younger opponent than you can. Make him want to box. That's where you know you're superior. Make him like to box by hitting him in the side and in the chest.
Whitaker flat-footed, attacking, going more to the body than we're used to seeing him. may be some blood trickling from Trinidad's nose.
Whitaker is using that experienced right jab, and he's pointing it. Wherever he points it, he hits. And let me tell you, that can cause a lot of problem on a young opponent.
And
seeing blood early in the boxing match.
Excuse me, George. A hard left hand from Whitaker, just as the bell sounds to end the first round. And Pernell looks to be in excellent fighting shape. If they speak Spanish in Felix Trinidad's corner, as we expect Felix Trinidad's senior will to his son, then our interpreter is Hector Garcia.
They were so shocked in Trinidad's corner, they didn't get the stool in for 20 seconds.
Don't pay attention to that cut. You're doing real good. Don't get desperate on this fight. Keep your hands up and let him do whatever he wants to do. You keep your pace. Slow down. Just go for it.
Hey, listen, that jab is working wonders, man. Okay. See his nose bleeding already? Keep it up, let's go to work.
Stay back there, Fernando.
CompuBox numbers in round one. Whitaker threw 40 jabs, landed 15 of them. Trinidad 9 out of 27. All in all, CompuBox has Whitaker outlanding Trinidad 21-12 in the first round. And you can see that Harold Letterman saw the round for the man in blue, Sweet Pea Whitaker.
No punch, no punch. Let's go. Come on, guys, come on.
Trinidad's corner is going to have to be real cagey and pace a young fighter when you're up against a veteran of this nature.
No, agree, no punch, fight.
George, the young fighter's been a champion for more than 5 years. He should be able to handle anything.
Well, youth is youth, and that has not anything to do with it.
George doesn't trust him until they get past 40, Larry.
These veterans, they got some tricks that you've never seen before.
Trinidad with a straight right hand lead. Classic technique against the southpaw. Whitaker diving in, pounding Trinidad to the body. And Whitaker so far making it clear that if referee Benji Esteves doesn't stop him from holding, he will.
Trinidad was able to get a little effective with his jab. And Whitaker want to make certain that once you get hit with one punch, move the next time. Don't get hit with 2 shots at a time.
Keep him up, keep him up. Let's go.
Esteves warning Whitaker about a low blow. The two fighters landing mostly 1 punch at a time. Hard left hand from Trinidad as Whitaker reached with a right.
Well, I said earlier, Whitaker does not need to get hit with 2 punches at a time, because Trinidad, 1 shot hurts you. Duck and dodge the next time.
I got you. Okay, let's go.
Whitaker's totally absent of any head movement now. Keeps his head straight, looking at a punch.
Hard left hand for Whitaker. Trinidad stunned as Pernell, who is more down on his flat feet than I've ever seen him, gets more punching power from it than we've normally seen from him in the past. As he comes down off his toes, the head movement goes away, George.
Well, you know, Whitaker, like I said, you want to duck and dodge after you throw a shot and just before, because this guy can hit.
Down goes Whitaker on a straight right hand. Several fighters have had Pernell Whitaker down in his career. Roger Mayweather, Buddy McGirt twice, Raphael Williams. Nobody's ever knocked him out.
Trinidad is an extra base hitter, and he hit a clean shot It's impressive primarily because he's been having so much trouble with Whitaker, and yet he's maintained his poise. He stays right in there, knowing he has the big weapon.
Part of the book on fighting a southpaw, George, the right-hand lead, and Trinidad fired it right down the pipe.
That happened mainly because Whitaker has no head movement. You don't allow a guy to just pipe in just like you got a rifle and aim and shoot like that.
Crowd chanting, Tito, 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 Trinidad's nickname.
I think really good for Trinidad. You knock a veteran down, he tries to pay you back, and then you're sitting in the driver's seat.
Pernell Whitaker stepping up and shortening the distance between himself and Trinidad. Would be a reckless strategy. But Whitaker's trainer, Tommy Brooks, to our mild surprise, said, we're not going for a decision for Sweet Pea. We're going to knock Trinidad out.
Whitaker evidently without any footwork trying to get a knockout.
It's a more stationary Pernell Whitaker than we've ever seen at any time in his career. A man who has prided himself in the past, on being unfindable in there. Trinidad is finding him tonight.
Once Whitaker starts moving his head here and there, the fight turn into something he can handle. Make your opponent miss. He's more effective when he's making his opponent miss. Little head movement.
No head movement there. Trinidad just popping the jab right onto Whitaker's face. And the right hand lands for Trinidad. Whitaker sticking his jab after landing a left hand in retaliation. Pernell trying to get to the body and pushing with the right hand.
Now, Trinidad is real effective with one shot at a time because he's a puncher. Whitaker's going to have to put together 3 and 4 punch combinations. Don't throw one at a time. Make up your mind you're going to throw 3 and you'll catch him.
Again, the right hand lands for Trinidad. Just sticking that right hand lead onto the face of Whitaker, who looks to referee Benji Esteves as if to say, why don't you pull him off of me?
Much more action-packed fight than Whitaker's fight with De La Hoya.
Much more.
Whitaker feel like he's been physically challenged now. It's a macho thing. This guy is going to run all over him if he doesn't fight. He doesn't want to out-jab him. He wants a knockout.
Chopping right hand for Trinidad. Another right hand lands. Whitaker comes back with a left over the top. Backs Trinidad up.
Don't pay attention to your cut. You're fine. That blood is finished. Just be careful. Be calm and take it easy. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. When you're inside,
Hey, listen. Try to time me with their count.
I know, I'm trying.
Okay? But you got to put them together, though, in case you miss him with it. You pick him up with the second or the third shot.
Get my body beat.
By CompuBox numbers, in round 3, it became a slugging match. Trinidad landing 24-48, Whitaker 29 out of 62. But here's the key. Whitaker's previous 20 opponents, including De La Hoya, combined to land 28% of their punches against him. Trinidad is landing 44% so far tonight, and you wonder how long Sweet Pea can withstand that kind of punishment. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Jim, 2 rounds to 1, 29-27, Felix Felix Trinidad. You got to give him an extra point for that knockdown in the second round. He's landing the 3 harder shots, so he won rounds 2 and 3. But Jim, I got to tell you, it's illegal to pull Pernell Whitaker's head down. Now the judges see that. I hope Pestryayaev sees it, because Trinidad grabs Whitaker behind the neck, pulls his head down constantly. That's illegal.
For as long as it goes, I think Pestryayaev is in for a rough night here, trying to decide when to intervene and when to let it go.
Trinidad is having an easier time of it when he steps back a little bit. He's able to slide forward with his jab. It's a little easier stepping back jab and then going forward, because Whitaker cuts him off with his right foot.
The sliding the front foot forward is important to Felix's rhythm and his power.
He needs that rhythm. Whitaker is showing him, look, I'm going to fight you. I'm not going to be fair. I'm going to fight you mean and rough. That was the first good body punch by Trinidad this time, with it right to the body.
And as they get close, Whitaker pounding to the body to try to take some of the mustard out of Trinidad's punches.
Trinidad is using a good left jab, but it's all about, I'm going to hit you with a right hand afterwards. Never tried to double up on a good jab.
Last few right hands from Trinidad have been pushed just a little bit, landing them, but not with the kind of sit that he had in the first few rounds. The left hook landed there, and another straight right.
When a fighter who has won fights by his quickness and cleverness through most of his career matures and gets older, you get a chance to see what he's made of. And we're seeing what Pernell Whitaker is made of as he goes right at a younger, stronger puncher.
Yeah, but this is no time in your life to try to be too courageous. You want to box, hit him, and get out of the way.
It's just hard to imagine Pernell Whitaker winning the fight, going right at Felix Trinidad. And this will be ruled a slip. But Trinidad has landed 2 solid left hooks in the last minute inside against Whitaker.
How are you feeling? I'm okay. You have to be calm, okay? Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Stand there. We're gonna start fighting right now. Are you feeling okay now? We're gonna go for it now. Keep your hands up.
So you got to throw your punches and step. Either side. It don't matter. Okay?
Go to this guy's body, T. Go to this guy's body. He's puffing and huffing out there, baby. Come on.
Here we can see as they get in the clinch, as Trinidad holds illegally, according to Harold Letterman, but referee does not take notice.
Very forbidding punch stat numbers for Pernell Whitaker in round 4. Felix Trinidad landing 25 out of 39 punches, 16 of 26 power shots, cherry picking in effect against Whitaker. Taking a lot of hard shots.
You heard Whitaker started a dirty fight. Now that it gets a little dirty, he complains. Now this isn't the time to complain. Get back with him.
You heard in Trinidad's corner, they're telling him to go and get him. They feel he's just too strong, that Whitaker can't really hurt him. And here he comes.
One of the scenarios here was that the younger, stronger man would simply go out and overpower Whitaker and render all of his technique and his skills meaningless. We're on the verge of that, though it isn't quite happening that clearly yet. Hard left hand for Whitaker, trying to back Trinidad off and force the Puerto Rican fighter to be a little bit more measured in his approach.
Well, you tell your fighter to go and get him. I don't know if you want to do it, but at the same time, you don't want to pull him up. You want to keep his confidence. He's been winning a lot of boxing matches in the beginning, so keep telling him to go at it.
Whitaker surviving in Felix Trinidad's sights so far.
Trinidad is like some viper. Strikes out, step back, steps right back on you.
If the strategy is to make Trinidad miss and make him pay, then the first part of the strategy isn't yet working. Pernell is not making him miss.
That Trinidad just waits and waits for one right hand. If you make a mistake, always right hand minded.
This will be ruled a slip as well, although Trinidad got in a pop on Whitaker's skull as Pernell went down. Left hand for Whitaker, and another.
It's plain that Trinidad feels that he's a truck fighting a sedan, that he can just walk through Whitaker.
Yeah, he's not terribly concerned about what's coming back.
He has power, and he believes in his power.
All right, George, some of our viewers may look at him and say, well, he's skinny. Where does all the power come from?
No, look at the shoulders, right around the chest. Conceals it.
It's also in the commitment to the punches.
And the timing, and the leverage, and the balance.
We're doing great. We're doing great. Breathe in. We're doing great. We're doing great. Breathe in deep. He is dead. But don't take any risk. This guy is dead. He's ready to go. It's only a matter of time. He's ready to go. Give us a little bit of water, please. It's just a matter of time. He slipped before, or did you hit him? No, I hit him. Just be calm, relax. Keep those hands up. Keep those hands up and throw that right hand. Go for it, man. Go for it. Go straight for it. Keep those hands up.
Let's go. Keep it clean. Limpio, limpio.
You know, when he was getting knocked down earlier in his career, Jim, he was wide open, throwing reckless punches. Trinidad is a much more controlled fighter now than he was in those days.
Pernell Whitaker showing a pretty stiff chin as he takes two vicious right hands from Trinidad. A lot of fighters would have been down right now. Whitaker holding on after the sizzling left hook. This is target practice at this point.
Well, but you got to understand that Whitaker has two or three more tricks up his sleeve. No sleeves on, but he has a trick or two.
I'd like to know what they could be, George.
Might be a good time to break them out.
Anything that you can do that can upset the rhythm of Trinidad, as a veteran, you want to do that.
You know, we said going into the fight, nobody had ever looked good fighting Whitaker. Felix Trinidad looks good fighting Whitaker.
Trinidad comes back with his left hook. He's committed to every shot being a power punch.
Straight right hand lands, boom. Swinging right hand lands, boom.
At this point, got his eyes wide open over the southpaw. He's able to stand his position.
Jabs one at a time, reluctant to try to double up because of Trinidad's left hand. Whitaker ate some heavy leather early in this round, maintained his balance, and now Trinidad slows down as Whitaker lands the left across the top.
Yeah, at some point or another, if this fight continues this fashion, you want a patient fighter. He can distribute his power a little later on in the boxing match. You don't want to throw it all that soon. This does not look like a fighter who a few days ago was overweight.
Larry, how would you compare the punching power of Felix Trinidad as a 147-pounder with that of, well, before we get to that, Estevez, timeout, low blow. Whitaker gets a chance to recover.
All right? Okay? Let's go. You ready?
Still no penalty points. How would you compare Trinidad's punching power as a welterweight with that of Tommy Hearns as a welterweight?
Hearns is about as big a puncher as I ever saw as a welterweight.
Okay?
But this guy is a classic boxer who can knock you dead and hurt you with both hands with beautifully conceived punches.
Trinidad believed that his punch and throw was legal.
5 seconds.
And I think what Larry said is that while Hearns' right hand may have been bigger, Trinidad's left is better.
Beautiful out there, baby. Come on.
Knock this guy out, man. All you gotta do is throw it, Captain. All you gotta do is throw it. It's there. You're getting careless, man. Just take your time.
That jab in front, the jab in front all the time. He's got nothing left. Everything's okay? Yeah, everything's okay.
Here we see Trinidad coming forward, straight right hand. Whitaker is there, not moving the way you used to see him move. Right now, Whitaker is in a position that he has to stay in there and do some damage. He has to do something dramatic.
All right, bring stuff back there, both of you.
Past the halfway point in the bout, Harold Letterman, how do you have it scored through 6?
Halfway, I wish I was young. 5 rounds to 1. 59-54, Felix Tito Trinidad. Jimmy's walking right through him. I tell you, it doesn't make a difference if he gets in front of him, left, right, makes no difference. He's winning this fight on clean punching, effective aggressiveness. He's just walking forward and whacking Pernell Whitaker with those straight rights and a good left jabs.
A looping left across the top, and Estevez rules down a slip.
That could have been called a knockdown because Trinidad was off balance and was hit a clean shot in the body.
I'm sure Pernell thought it was a knockdown.
Trinidad at this point does not want to give out Pernell Whitaker any confidence. You don't want to get him confident. Got up as though nothing happened. Start stalking his opponent some more, Trinidad is.
And Whitaker beginning round 7 with what amounts to a rally for him. Ducking and slipping a couple of Trinidad's punches and landing a power shot of his own. Whitaker, for the moment, has succeeded in taking the large Trinidad rooting section out of the fight. Now they try to come back with a chance of Tito. Hard left hand for Whitaker, making Trinidad miss and making him pay. Right hand to the body landed. Trinidad is a little wobbly. I think the body shot really hurt him, George.
The body shot hurt, but at the same time, this boy is dangerous when he's hurt. Not a good body shot.
And Trinidad crouching over to try to protect his body from Whitaker's assault.
Whitaker has him coming forward. That's what you want a partner to do, is follow you around so that you can land shot as he's picking his feet up.
Another left shot for Whitaker. And the right lands inside. A rousing rally in round 7 for Sweet Pea.
You know that when you have the height advantage, you never want to get down low with your opponent. And that's Trinidad. Whenever he gets a little lower, Whitaker pays off.
They trade, and Trinidad straight right backs Whitaker up.
You want to make sure you maintain your height.
Trinidad pausing to wave the right fist at his supporters in the crowd, and Whitaker tries to rally again at the end of his biggest round.
give me the rest of them rounds like that, you got this thing, dog.
You're winning by points. You're winning by points. He has no chance of hurting you. Keep that jab and don't stop that jab. You're listening to me? Forget the public. You fight. You do your own fight. You see, this guy's going to go down anytime now. Go for it.
Take a look and see if it was a knockdown. Not really. Later on, clean shots from Whitaker that probably won the round for him, gave him hope of coming on as this fight goes on. But whatever happens, you're seeing the championship heart of a once great prize fighter.
And he almost certainly got a point back on the scorecards, but if the date with the canvas early in the round had been ruled a knockdown, then Pete would have gotten 2 points back. Trinidad going back to the right-hand lead, and once again, he stuffs Whitaker with it.
You notice that some of the shots thrown earlier, Whitaker was able to land an uppercut on a taller opponent. Trinidad's best advantage is to stay tall. Don't get low for any shot.
And at some point, given the fact that his corner is telling him he's ahead on the scorecards, you wonder if Trinidad will stop trying to knock Pernell out and box with him using his reach to control the fight.
He has no other means. That's all he knows is the knockout.
Both fighters have been on the canvas more than once, but there's been only one knockdown in the bout. The knockdown came in round 2 when Trinidad deposited Whitaker on the seat of his pants with a straight right hand.
Trinidad, as though he's inviting Sweet Pea to throw these shots in.
Brilliant uppercut. Pernell wobbled again. Trinidad steps in to try to finish the man. And the uppercut lands again. Whitaker getting his legs back and fires the left hand. Trinidad going all right hands now. 4 more straight right hands and he might knock the man out. Pernell ducking and holding and using his skills to stay alive.
Trinidad is thinking, he's hitting me all right, but that doesn't hurt me. Whitaker can feel that he's not hurting.
Did you ever think you'd see Pernell Whitaker fighting as though the best defense is a good offense?
He's in against something that only comes along every now and then, these Trinidad type fighters.
Whitaker trying to match Trinidad uppercut for uppercut. Trinidad backing Pernell up again with straight right hand power shots. So it was a big rally for Whitaker in round 7 and a big rally for Trinidad in round 8, and another lethal uppercut snaps Whitaker's head back. No. And Whitaker almost goes to the wrong corner at the end of the round.
Relax, Tito. Tito, he's ready to go. You know what's going on? You don't throw so many hooks.
That buckle is loose in the corner. The corner
Straight punches, man. Huh?
You've been hurt. You hurt this guy before. Come on, Pete. You can do it.
Stand up too tall. Too low. Throw the double jab and step. Throw the double jab and a straight left hand. Right down the fight.
There is a half hook, half uppercut that dazed Whitaker momentarily. And later in the round, Trinidad puts an exclamation point on it. This is a better fight than the one we saw last week.
In that round, Trinidad landed 25 of 44 power shots. Let's see if he has softened Whitaker up for a possible finish, or if there's another big rally left in the 35-year-old Hall of Fame fighter.
You know what? Trinidad's corner told him to stay away from so many left hooks, and he went right off and doubling up on straight right hands. And that corner evidently knows exactly what they're telling him.
And Hector Garcia, our Spanish interpreter, just informed us that Felix Trinidad's father told him between rounds, "You're ahead by 5 points. Don't do anything foolish."
I think he'd be doing something foolish if he tried to coast in.
Well, I think George made the point. He only knows one way to fight.
Well, which is the best way. You set to make the fight yourself. Don't back up. You've been training. You've trained the way you fight anyway. Keep going.
But also, let's remember the purpose in this fight. To make his case for a fight with De La Hoya, to try to be impressive, to achieve some parity. And he is certainly handling Whitaker better than De La Hoya did, although let's remember this is a 2-year older Whitaker than De La Hoya faced.
Well, that's exactly the point. There'll be a lot of material here for the De La Hoya skeptics who will say that Trinidad created considerably more combustion against Pernell than Oscar was able to do, but how does this Pernell compare to the Pernell of April 7, 1997, or April 12, 1997? I think he's a whole different guy.
I think this Trinidad is something altogether different here. You haven't seen a guy with that many loaded up right hands. Shoots him like a guy with a pistol. And no matter what you do to him, it doesn't discourage him. I think we better get ready to follow Trinidad around for a while. Good body shot by Pernell Whitaker.
Another great body shot. When Pernell has landed to the body, he's turned things in his favor. That's what happened back in round 7. Trinidad missing with the left hook. Whitaker, who's probably taken more big power shots in this fight than in any other fight in his career, gets hit with the right hand again.
These are two thoroughbreds going at it. Boy, can you just imagine what Pernell Whitaker at his age is going through to fight this young stud?
And what a great brace of fights back-to-back in the welterweight division to signal the fact that top-flight competition with fighters risking themselves against great opponents is back in boxing.
There's a cut over the right eye of Whitaker.
Whitaker's cut man is the excellent Joe Souza. That's his right hand with the rubber glove on, going to work.
Stay right there, get the stuff in here.
Hey, listen. Both hands right down the pipe, baby. Okay?
Now I'm clean. Come on, come on, come on. Nice and clean.
Yo, both hands right down the pipe. Both hands right down the pipe.
Yeah, I got it.
Like you were working just there. Keep showing him a jab stepping. Keep showing him jab stepping. Then drop the left hand in behind, okay? Hey, look. All right. Them body shots is on money, man. But you got to throw them, though. You know what I'm saying?
Here's some of the body shots. Whitaker can hurt you with a body shot. But as I watch him in the corner during this replay, I don't think I can recall seeing him almost admitting that he's in with a better fighter tonight in his facial mannerism.
You know, another thing, I don't think you've seen Pernell Whitaker or any welterweight in a ring with a fighter like this Trinidad. This boy's like a snake.
And the first 9 rounds have been for men only. Letterman, how did you score him?
Jim, let me tell you, after 9 rounds, I think Pernell Whitaker's out of rounds. He's got to knock him out to win. 88, 82, 7 rounds to 2. A big 6-point lead for Felix Tito Trinidad. Jim, effective aggressiveness, clean punching. That's the story of the fight. That's all you got to know. I mean, we score on 4 points, the other points being, defense. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about ring generalship. It's just that aggressiveness of Tito Trinidad coming forward, and the clean right hands and the clean left hooks is walking right through him.
I was Whitaker corner, I'd tell him, look, show the world you're the best boxer around. You got nothing to prove. Things can happen when you start boxing good. Even a punch, you may land something to knock him down.
George, you don't get to be as good as Pernell Whitaker without trying to win the fight.
Yeah, but I meant he's not winning trying to be flat-footed, trade a shot with this big boy.
But he doesn't have enough time to win the fight the other way.
Yeah, but if you start boxing, other things open up for you.
He's going to have to get to the body. That's what works for him. He's going to have to find a way to Tito Trinidad's ribcage, and unfortunately getting there means going through a hail of Trinidad artillery. Right hand for Whitaker. Momentarily loses his balance. It's been a slippage fight.
Good left hand by Whitaker this time. Like I said, make this big puncher follow you. Every time he comes forward, you have to lift up 1 foot at a time. Catch him as he lift him up.
Straight left hand for Trinidad. Drives Whitaker into the ropes. Left hand to the body by Trinidad. Whitaker parrying with his jab and trying to pound with the left hand. Whitaker cornered now, sits down on his butt. Estevez won't rule it a knockdown.
Okay, come on.
Seems like all the snap is going out of Whitaker's shots now.
But when you're not getting it done upstairs and you've done damage to the rib cage, that's the time to remember to go back to the body. Pernell Whitaker in this round didn't throw a single effective body shot.
With calm. Keep those hands up. We're doing great. You're winning this fight. You win it. Don't take any risk. And now keep him at a mid-distance because we're ahead. Don't let him hit you. Are you listening to me?
You gotta go get him, baby. You gotta go get him. Everything you got. Everything you got. You gotta go get him now. All right? Make it a dog fight now, cat. 2 rounds. You got 2 rounds to make it a dog fight.
This replay will show you that Whitaker indeed, in order to get away from that roundhouse right hand, sat down on his own. You heard in Whitaker's corner, it's a dog fight. You got to go out and get him.
But in round 10, Felix Trinidad picking his shots, landed 23 of 34 punches. He's going to wind up the fight landing more than half his punches against a guy who throughout his career has been invisible to most of his opponents.
Trinidad's corner has told him to coast. That's not smart. You don't want to slow the train down here.
And Whitaker now remembers to go back to the body, pounding hard there twice with the left hand.
Got to tell Trinidad to keep doing what you're doing. Don't try to coast in for a decision.
You could have done pretty well in the sports books in Vegas, betting that both De La Hoya Cuarte and Whitaker Trinidad would go the distance. But right now, it appears entirely likely.
Trinidad is keeping his distance real good. His jabs, right hand, but he doesn't move in. He keeps his balance.
Hard left hand for Whitaker. Momentarily backs Trinidad up. But add to all of the other Trinidad assets a chin which has gotten better as this fight has gone on. Still no penalty for low blows.
The referee's been watching these low blows by each guy round after round, so he's not going to get in there now. It wasn't that low.
Whitaker's able to land 1-2s in this round. Right jab left across the top.
Trinidad's corner made a mistake. They told him to coast. You slow down the train, and it just doesn't have the power there.
Yeah, but if he can avoid a knockdown, George, or a knockout, he's won the fight. So he can give up these rounds as 1-point rounds.
Because even if Pernell wins this round, it's hard to find a round other than the first and the 7th that he might have won.
You just want to keep this locomotive going. Keep him throwing.
But the other issue here, guys, is Trinidad has to look good. He wants to make his case for De La Hoya. I think he's already made it. Maybe he could even make it more dramatically and convincingly. That was not a low blow. That was right on the border.
Whitaker doing his best to make Estevez believe it was a low blow.
Estevez was correct.
Trinidad just missed with a home run swing with the right hand.
I think that Trinidad should finish this fight trying to get a knockout. Forget about this point, Colson. Forget about any other fighters. Get out there and get yourself a knockout.
Quick little right hand counter inside by Whitaker. Snapped Trinidad on the chin, but they'll go to the 12th.
This is it. We're winning a wide margin. Breathe in, breathe in. We're winning this fight.
Hey, baby. This is your career, man. I got it. You got to go get it.
You did it before, baby. You did it before. You can do it again. You can do it again. Come on, baby.
Don't hit him back. Just keep your hands up and relax. Are you listening to me? This is the last round. Just get ready. I don't want you to get hit. Hands up.
One final tribute to the brave warrior Pernell Whitaker. In round 11, he threw 81 punches, doing everything within his power to try to reverse the seemingly irreversible momentum of this fight. But Whitaker loves to say, victimized by close controversial decisions against Jose Luis Ramirez and Oscar De La Hoya, that he's never lost a professional prize fight. It's hard to imagine him winning this one by anything short of a dramatic, career-changing knockout.
Sometimes you're in a fight like that and you got to say to yourself, what do I go home for? Do I go home without any more scars? For what reason? Do I take a chance? A good reason. That's what you got to do. Take a chance, Whitaker.
Hard left hook by Trinidad. Whitaker steps back and fires his own left. Pernell. Range finding with the right jab, trying to find a way to land one more big left hand. Straight right hand has been such a powerful piece of weaponry for Trinidad all night long. It's been a fast-paced fight most of the way. You could understand both fighters being a little tired in the 12th. But if Pernell Whitaker is going to score a dramatic knockout, it's hard to imagine him doing it any other way than to launch a vicious, sustained assault to the body of Felix Trinidad. On the few occasions in the fight when he's hurt Trinidad, he seemingly did so by hurting him to the body. He's looking upstairs here, and he's not getting much reward for his efforts.
It seems that Trinidad is all about 100%, nothing else. When he slacks up 1 inch, just doesn't have it.
So we're narrowing it down in the welterweight division. Forte tried against De La Hoya. De La Hoya was more man in the 12th. Whitaker's trying to produce one last stand against Trinidad, but it looks like all Trinidad. Somewhere down the road, a reckoning for the two young welterweight stars, or so we most fervently hope.
There is no doubt that Trinidad has made his case by looking better against Whitaker than De La Hoya did. He is a more natural boxer and two-handed puncher, which does not mean he would beat De La Hoya in a fight between them.
Pernell Whitaker showing his bravery in a rough physical fight, but taking the toughest pounding of his career. And as Whitaker sits down again to avoid Trinidad's punches, the crowd calls for a knockout. Estevez pulls them apart. 10 more seconds to go. The two big welterweight dramas in the desert and in the garden both go the distance.
I winning 9 rounds to 3. Thought he looked terrific. He is an outstanding fighter.
CompuBox numbers give Whitaker credit for landing only 6 punches in the 12th round, as mostly he swung away with the left hand, hoping to land something big. He never went about the systematic body assault that I felt would have been his only chance. Highlights of the bout: we told you about Felix Trinidad's penchant for revenge. When he's been knocked down in the past, he's always gotten up to knock out the perpetrator. Well, in this fight, Pernell Whitaker won the first round, or at least appeared to, and so therefore Trinidad came out in round 2 and established the tempo for the bout by punching Pernell Whitaker to the canvas with a straight right hand. And from there, Trinidad stayed in control until Whitaker came out and mounted a big rally, mostly with body punches, to win round 7. So immediately after that, in round 8, Trinidad came back with that big uppercut, the left hook and straight right hand there, and generally batted Whitaker around the ring throughout the 8th round.
Pernell Whitaker is a guy who's made every fighter he's ever faced look bad. I mean, he's a guy who could make Michelle Pfeiffer look bad. He couldn't make Felix Trinidad look bad.
Indeed. Harold Letterman, what about your final scorecard?
117, 110, 9 rounds to 3. Felix Trinidad, an absolute no-brainer, Jim. Just walked right through him, scored with the right hand, scored with the left hooks. It was very easy for Felix Trinidad. Effective aggressiveness once again, and clean punching were the 2 key points.
And remember, 1 judge from Pernell Whitaker's home state of Virginia, 1 from Puerto Rico, 1 from New York. Newlywed Michael Buffer got married last Thursday and has our congratulations. Here he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Madison Square Garden, we go to the Budweiser scorecards. Melvina Lathan scores the bout 118 to 109. That's the same score from Biba Exton, 118 to 109. Samuel Conde Lopez scores the bout 117 to 110 for the winner by unanimous decision, and still IBF welterweight champion of the world, Felix Trinidad.
Honest scoring, creditable judging,
and a round of applause,
Trinidad
please,
with a big victory in a fight much more entertaining than some of us might have suspected. A rousing performance by the Puerto Rican star as he establishes himself as De La Hoya's foil in the welterweight division. Final punch stat numbers, and you can see that Whitaker threw a lot more. Trinidad picking his spots all the way through, landing at an astonishing 54% rate against a fighter against whom in the past, if you landed 30%, you were doing well. And look at the power punch numbers. 54% of the power punches landed for Trinidad as well. So Felix Trinidad moves to 34-0 with 29 knockouts and looks down the road toward bigger things. Larry Merchant is with him now.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Tito.
Felicidades, Tito.
Were you surprised that Whitaker was willing to engage you toe-to-toe through much of this fight?
¿Estabas sorprendido que Whitaker te peleó de esta manera, de pie a pie, por toda la duración de la pelea?
No fue sorpresa porque yo sé que Whitaker no es un boxeador que corre.
No, it wasn't a surprise because I know Whitaker is a boxer that runs around.
What was in your mind going into this fight? Did you want to show that you could beat him more decisively than De La Hoya did in order to make your case for a fight against Oscar De La Hoya?
¿Qué estaba pasando por tu mente cuando tú viniste a pelear con Whitaker? ¿Tú pensabas que querías darle una pelea más dura de la que Oscar De La Hoya le dio para tú ser el más adelante?
No, yo vine a hacer mi pelea y yo sabía que yo venía a ganar. Eso es lo único que yo sabía.
I came to do my fight and I knew I was going to win.
You had a great deal of trouble making the 147-pound welterweight limit. Do you think you can keep fighting at welterweight, or do you have to move up to junior middleweight?
Parece que tuviste un poco de problema para alcanzar 140 o quedarte 147 libras para esta pelea. ¿Piensas quedarte en esa división?
Soy el mejor welter del mundo y yo no tuve ningún problema, ningún día de mi entrenamiento no tuve ningún problema. Y soy el mejor peso welter del mundo.
I am the best welter in the world. I had no problems making this weight, and I'm the best there is in this division.
Will you fight De La Hoya at welterweight if necessary, or if he moves up to junior middleweight, will you follow him into that division?
¿Tú te gustaría pelear con Oscar de la Hoya en los 147 o te gustaría subir al próximo junior welter?
Bueno, perdón, ambos somos campeones welterweight y aquí que se la pelea.
We're both champions in the same way. The fight's got to be done this way.
Thank you very much. Congratulations again, Jim.
All right, thanks a lot, Larry. We're going to try to get a word with Pernell Whitaker, certainly off his great career. He's appeared more on HBO than any other fighter. He deserves the last word here. George, Oscar De La Hoya went out and slugged away with Chavez, slugged away against Cuarte. Logic tells you he probably shouldn't try it against this guy. What would a De La Hoya Trinidad fight look like?
It would look great. You're talking about two champions. One is an apple, the other an orange. Both are delicious. I'm telling you, it would be a great fight. Will we see such a fight? I don't know.
Well, there's a scenario by which it happens as early as September. Most people feel it's more likely that it waits until next year, but I don't think we're going to have to go without that fight. I think we will see at some point Oscar De La Hoya and Felix Trinidad in the ring. Meanwhile, Larry Merchant's in the ring with Pernell Whitaker. Let's see that.
All right, just one moment, fellas, because Whitaker is wandering around here congratulating Tito. Pernell, you said with some pride and justification before this fight that you felt you really never lost a fight. Do you feel that finally you met a younger, stronger fighter who did defeat you?
No, I know I haven't. You know, and like I say, the public is going to judge it. You know, that's why we have these great fans, you know, who are not here, who get to see it on view. You know, they can score the fight for themselves. And the fans title I fight for. I represent the fans. You know, it was a good fight. I never took anything away from the kid. You know, and if, you know, it was close. If he got the decision, you know, I'm not gonna whine or anything about it. I'm not gonna say I lost.
That's your championship pride like talking, and we understand that.
Oh, no, that has nothing to do with it.
No?
No, that has nothing to do with it. You guys have been waiting to see Pernell Whitaker lose for 18 years, and he still hasn't lost. The fight was close.
All right, Pernell, why did you feel you had to stand and go with him?
I didn't. I boxed the way I boxed for 27 years. You know, you guys look for excuses against me. Don't give me no excuses, you know.
All right, then let's go. You fought Oscar De La Hoya. You fought.
I fought everybody.
You fought everybody, and you fought young Trinidad today. Give us your view of both fighters.
Give me some credit.
We gave you lots of credit.
For everybody. Well, give me some now. I never turned away from anybody.
You didn't.
You think the best fighter in the world is? Like, I don't put you on the spot. The world wants to know.
The world doesn't care what I think right now. They want to know what you think. You fought De La Hoya. You fought Trinidad. Compare the two for us.
Oh, he's much better than De La Hoya. You know, he's a good fighter. You know, and I fight only the best. You know, so I want to thank all the viewers of HBO for tuning in. You know, and
from the way you're talking, you're going to continue to fight. Is that right?
Until somebody beats me.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, Pernell. I'll just close with this final word. Once upon a time, it seemed that Pernell Whitaker could stand in a very narrow alley and be a matador against an onrushing truck, somehow pop out its lights and slash its tires. Tonight, the truck won. Jim?
Well said, Larry. And George, we waited a long time for what happened last week, for what happened again tonight. Your comments on what these last 2 weeks have meant to the sport.
Well, it shows us for a fact the unexpected can always happen on HBO. I've never seen this many great fights in my life, and I've been around for almost 38 years.